Hello, offloaders. So we've got a big guest today. So West Tigers, Alex Twal. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me, man. Real excited to be on, and looking forward to having a chat.
Yeah, so you haven't done many podcasts. I know that. We're chatting a little bit before, mate. So I want to really get to the person of who you are today. Obviously, when you've been on Fletch and Hindy and stuff and done a little bit of sketches like that, people have gotten a bit of a different side to you. So we want to kind of unravel that side. I do want to start, if we can, brother, with your diet. So you're super strict with the diet. You don't give me a bit of a rundown, bro, of how or like a general day would look for you.
To be honest, man, I sort of follow like a paleo diet. So I try to stay away from all the processed stuff and really only, put the good stuff in me and, all whole foods. Make sure, in terms of fluids and stuff, just sticking to my waters and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really too much to it, man. To be honest, I don't really have a diet. I'd say I just live a certain way, and like I said, it's all paleo, all whole foods, and stay away from all the processed stuff.
Well, it's paid off, man. Bloody hell. I think, like, when the boys saw you in the gym, a couple of the trainers, they're like, is that Alex Twal? They're like, he's huge. I think you're doing arms. He's like, bloody hell, that's so scary. So I got a little story from Woodsy. So he said, was it a Mad Monday or just a day out? And he said he ordered you a chicken schnitzel, and he reckons you pulled all the crumbs. You did was it your mind was just like, oh, this is pure shit, or you just thought, I just can't eat it? It didn't taste good even.
Yeah, the boys are always playing tricks on me, always ordering me chicken schnitzels or burgers and this and that. I just gotta sometimes just go with it and try try to sort of take away all the bad stuff and just keep them happy by eating something.
Yeah, and then he said, so you don't go out much, really, mate? Would you say?
No, I'm not really much of a drinker, and I try to sort of stay away from all that stuff.
Yeah, so you obviously, well, you're doing the best. You're an athlete, which makes sense. But he said there was one time on a Mad Monday where you snuck out and you played a bit of PlayStation as well. Is that a bit? Does that have a bit of mayo on it?
There's a bit of mayo on that. I've never played PlayStation. I don't play PlayStation now. So.
Okay. Maybe he's just saying you're quite quiet, mate. But yeah, with your career, like at the Tigers, so you've been there the whole time. But you did come through like the Parramatta system and things like that. So I guess for you and moving to the Tigers or starting your career at the Tigers, like where do you see that sort of going? Are you happy with the progress at the moment as well?
Yeah, I think we're really progressing really well, and I'm really excited where we're going, and really looking forward to 2026.
Yeah, and what would you, because like we said before the pod, Tigers fans are really a passionate bunch. I guess what would you say to a Tigers supporter now to give them hope for next year?
I think, you can really see the growth in the team, and I'm sure, all the fans are really looking forward to what's ahead, and I'm sure, like I said before, 2026 is going to be a good year.
Yeah, because you had, like, last year, you guys did lose a couple closer games too. So you're thereabouts. Like, did you, towards the end of the year, were you pretty confident, like, you guys were going to make it, or?
Yeah, it's always, tough one when you lose them close matches. But like I said, we're looking forward to 2026 and making sure that a few of them close matches, swing the other way and come our way. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds good, mate. And I did want to ask you, so we have a segment, Am I Normal? It's with our co-host, I say it, that's the Aussie way of saying, but Nud. And so do you think it's normal to be a rugby league forward? Like, what attracted you to rugby league, would you say?
Obviously just, from a young age, sort of, I was always attracted to the fact that it was a team sport, and, I got to play with my mates on the weekends and really gave me something to look forward to after school, going to training on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But yeah, I think, it's obviously a great sport, and, it brings a lot of people together.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you as well, mate. So your mum is from Jordan and your dad's other way around?
Other way around.
Yeah. Other way around. And then, so how did you guys get into rugby league? Was it just obviously growing up in Sydney? Because I know you grew up around here as well.
think everyone that grows up in Western Sydney is sort of, rugby league is sort of your second language sort of thing. Everyone, like I said before, it brings everyone together. And growing up and, being a Maryland's kid, growing up there my whole life, football is obviously a massive thing. And yeah, so you sort of just fall into it. And obviously genetically, my siblings, we're pretty
Big
guys. So,
yeah.
football was always an avenue for us to, express ourselves. So, yeah.
Yeah. And do you think, is there a difference between the forwards and backs? Like, do you think you're on the same wavelength as like the forwards, or you think it's all like pretty similar for rugby league players?
I think it's all pretty similar, to be honest. Yeah. I think, rugby league's a hard sport, whether you play in the backs or the forwards.
Yeah, because I did hear when you did the potty with Matty Johns, you were saying about the time Nofaluma, he basically said the forwards, it was all the forwards' fault, but because of his personality, you were saying, it was like water off a duck's back. You didn't even care about it.
No, I guess, everyone's pretty similar in rugby league, whether you're forward or back. Obviously, the forward's probably a bit more tougher and back's a bit more skillful, so...
Yeah, and what about characters then, mate? Like, he was a big character, but characters you've played with, like, over the years, like, who stands out? It can be good or bad.
Oh, it's hard to say someone stands out, to be honest. I think that's the best thing about rugby league, Everyone comes from different backgrounds, different cultures, different, sort of, what do you call it, different world. So,
yeah.
The best thing about it is everyone's a different character.
So, backgrounds.
Everyone's so different, man. That's the best thing about it. And it's something, you really appreciate, especially as you get older and the longer you play, you just meet so many different people. And
And then speaking of meeting different people, mate, I was going to chat about this later, but obviously, the stuff you did with Fletch and Hindy, how did that come about?
We sort of just did a segment a couple of years ago, and I don't know, I think it went really well, and we got some good traction on it. So then the guys at Fox sort of called me back to do another one, and we've just done a few since then. And I think it's been good. It's really shown fans, rugby league fans, and the community that there's
different sides.
There's more than just a football player. There's a bit more to us, and I think it's shown everyone a different side, and it's really good as well. Anytime you get the opportunity to make someone laugh or smile, I think you got to take it. And so looking forward to doing a few more over the year, and it should be good. Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, would that be when you do hang up the boots? Would that be something? Would you like to do that? Like, go down the media route? Do you think?
It'd be awesome to do something like that, but we'll just take one step at a time. I still got to hopefully. God willing, a couple more years in rugby league.
Yeah.
2 more years ahead of me in rugby league, so I'll enjoy that, and just one step at a time at the moment.
Because obviously, Alex, we met in one playground, like at Maryland. So I'm an older trainer. I'm one of the senior trainers there, and I'm 36. So it was a bit of a different experience for me, because at Marrickville, you'd have like 50, 60-year-olds. So I was more like in the middle, not young. And now I work with really young trainers, and I do see a bit of a difference. Like, actually, drinking is one. Like, not many of the younger guys do drink, which is a little bit different. But do you see like a difference? The players like coming in now to say like your generation or the older boys as well?
Yeah. To be honest, it's all pretty similar. Drinking isn't really. I wouldn't say it's a massive thing anymore. People are a lot more educated. It's like smoking. How many smokers do you meet these days? People are a lot more educated and understand the risks associated with, unhealthy behaviours. So, I think everyone's sort of in that phase now where everyone just wants to train, eat well, and exercise. So, I think that's really good. I think it's good for the community, and
So, well, that sort of works for your personality as well, doesn't it, mate? But I guess, so with training or like your scheduling, because obviously the boys see you training at the gym a fair bit too. Like, is that, you like doing the extras and the add-ons? Like, do you have to force yourself to the gym, or you love it, would you say?
No, it's something I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I would sort of say, for me, gym is like, something that it's just a part of my daily routine, and it's something that enjoy it. It's not like I ever dread going to the gym or training. So, I actually, really look forward to it. So, yeah.
And your wife, so you guys met at university. You were saying, does she train or she into the gym or anything like that?
She's quite healthy and fit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we try to live a healthy lifestyle, lead by example for our son. And
Yeah, that's great. And speaking of your son, mate, obviously becoming a dad, does that give you a different like perspective on playing as well? Do you feel like, I don't want to say more motivated, but I know obviously having my daughter, it makes you see the world differently, or as you said, you are a role model to them as well. Like, does that help you on the field, do you think?
I think in every aspect of life, it sort of makes you want to just level up that little bit more, and gives, like you said before, a bit more motivation to do the right thing, and
And do they come and watch your games too?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah, it just depends on weather, because sometimes we play 8 o'clock and stuff like that. It's real cold, and
Yeah.
Mrs. would rather be rugged up at home.
That make with your son, that kind of makes sense. But she's like, I won't take him, but she really just rather stay home. Yeah, okay. And has she ever had like any negative interactions like at away games or anything like that with fans, like anything like that?
No, not really. To be honest.
Okay.
Fans have been pretty good. So I've been fortunate in that way. I think it's been pretty good.
Yeah, well, I'd say because you're like a pretty loved character in the game too. Yeah, so that sort of would help. I'll just find it would be tough if you're in the crowd and someone yells, "Oh, you wanker," and it's like that's your partner or like that's whatever. But I'm sure it's sort of she's used to that. But I mean,
you're always going to have your challenges, but at the same time, it comes with the territory. You know what I mean? If you're on TV or you're playing, high level sport, and based on results. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You just got to cop it. But to be honest, everyone's been pretty good along the course of my career. So not too many complaints.
And then speaking about that, mate, going down that route, like the mental side of things for you, like how are you after a loss, for example, with the family?
Yeah, of course, struggle. With losing. We play the sport to win, and obviously, sometimes when you lose, you're a bit down, but like I said, sometimes when you walk through them doors, you got to leave your emotions at the door, and be a family man and focus on that and being the best dad you can be and the best husband. So it's a roller coaster, but I love every minute of it.
Because I was gonna say, having your son, does it help to? I could imagine, like, just putting myself in your shoes, like. Yeah, obviously the loss would be really hard because that's what you're trying to do, win. But when you get home, is it a good reset just to play with your son and sort of like get away from that world just for that night, or
of course. Yeah.
And then mate, what about in terms of like after you play a game, like can you go? Are you one of the boys that stays up till 2-3 a.m. or you can go to sleep pretty easily?
No, I struggle sleeping after games. Obviously, high adrenaline. High impact on the body, so you don't always, get the best night's sleep, but it is what it is. I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah, and then because you're so, as you said, you're living like I don't want to say like holistic lifestyle, but you're eating clean, everything like that. So you have never had anything like a energy drink or anything like that before you play, or?
Oh yeah, no, I've never had an energy drink before I play. No, I don't. Try to stick to just Manuka honey.
Oh, is that your is that okay?
Manuka honey and we try to keep it all natural. Yeah.
That's it, and that you feel like that. So you do that you have that every time before you play, and you feel like that sort of works.
It just gives me a little kick before the game. Have just a couple of doses of Manuka honey, and away we go.
Okay, because are you because you're scheduled with the gym? Like, do you have a bit of a routine before you play? Like, are you regimented before you play?
I'm pretty regimented bloke, but sometimes you can't control everything, so you just got to sort of go with the flow and yeah.
Have you ever had a time when something didn't go right, and then before the game you're stressing a little bit?
Many times, many times. But I think
okay.
Yeah, if you want to play at the highest level, which is NRL, and maintain a long career, you got to sort of understand that it's not always going to be perfect. If you're playing for 10, 15 years, you're not going to have a perfect week every single week. So some weeks you're feeling a bit sick, you got the flu, or things out of your control are going on. You just got to continue on.
Yeah, that would be tough because we had I had Jeremy Lattimore on the show before, and he was saying he had a time where he had to I can't imagine you do this, jump on a bloke's scooter because he'd gone the wrong way in traffic, and he said he had to jump on the bloke's scooter. They turned around, and the guy's like, "Aren't you Jeremy Lattimore?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing today." So he actually said that. That was his best game. Like that was one of his best games. Yeah. He got into warm up like 5 minutes before, or like right when they were warming up, and he said he played good because everything was on his mind, and then he just went out and played. But I just can't imagine you in Maryland saying, "Can I hop on to can I jump onto here?" And they go.
Never have that.
And then what about, mate? Obviously. With the Tigers, obviously you have a few like grounds that you play at. Do you have I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have a favourite ground that you like to play at, like with the Tigers?
To be honest, they're all fine. Like, they're all good. You know, we get a good turnout at Campbelltown. We got a good turnout at Leichhardt. We got a good turnout at Combank. Obviously, you know, Leichhardt is obviously got a soft spot there, obviously, because we've won some really good games there across my career. And but like I said before, they're all great grounds, and yeah.
Yeah, Leichhardt, I actually love going there. I think because the tradition, and you're very can you feel the fans like straight on you?
Very old school stadium.
Yeah. And then what about away trips? Is there any ones that you sort of you're not too keen on going to?
Townsville was always a tough one.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously the 3.5 hour flight there, but in saying that, you know, I've played for numerous years now, so I'm sort of used to every sort of field and know what to expect. So you just sort of acclimatise to wherever you are.
Because is that tougher, like sweaty? Is it tougher to be sweaty than actually cold? Would you say, like in Townsville? Like, what's it like going to? I always would watch on TV and thought going to New Zealand as a Sydney team would be pretty tough.
Oh, look, yeah, every away stadium has its challenges, obviously. But in saying that, you know, like I said before, you play for a long time, you sort of just get used to it.
Yeah, fair, mate. And then we did chat a bit before. So you're a Maronite Christian as well, mate. So Adam, who we had on the show, so his mum was Maronite Christian and his dad was Muslim. So he spoke about like the differences growing up in a household like that. How does that your faith and things like that? How did that sort of mold with your rugby league journey as well, mate?
Yeah, obviously religion played a big part for me. Sorry.
You're right, mate.
You know, growing up in a pretty, religious household, it's really important to us, our faith, and go to church every week and.
Every Sunday you guys go?
Week,
wow. Okay. Unless you obviously had the game that interrupted.
Yeah,
Okay.
Obviously, it's a very important piece to our puzzle, and yeah.
And then you're still living around here, mate, as well. You're still close to here,
not too far, but yeah. No, I'm not around here anymore, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've grown up here my whole life, maybe.
Okay. I wasn't too sure because it's funny, because being around Parramatta, I used to always see the players around and stuff, but I know now they live in the eastern suburbs because I've seen Bailey Simonson and had a chat with him and a few other guys like around eastern suburbs. So it's quite funny, obviously, because you guys are earning better money now. You sort of, and is another thing like, is it slightly easier as well? I thought this might be the case. Like if you're, let's say for the Eels players, if they're not in Parramatta, because when you go for a coffee, when you go for a thing, obviously it's nice to get photos and things like that, but you can escape. Is that a part of it, do you think, or?
No, not really.
Nah?
No,
okay.
It's not really a factor.
So it's more just you guys are earning a bit better money, so you sort of...
Oh, no, not really. Just more just where you want to live, if you want to live.
Yeah.
It's really up to anyone, where you want to live.
And you got your family, obviously, now. So you got probably your wife is making some of the decisions as well, mate. What about that first try, brother? So there was a lot of build-up. I've seen a couple of interviews or times you've been on the videos and stuff like that. Like for you, was it as I need to score, or was it more the narrative or perception? like, oh, we got to get Twali over. Like that was a big social media thing and everything. Like for you, was it just business as usual? And then if it came, it came.
Yeah, look, no, I didn't really look into it too much. When it happened, obviously it was a laugh and
Yeah.
got the community together, which was good. But yeah, it didn't really faze me, to be honest.
Yeah. And then I know Clem said he took his hand away, and then you got the try as well, mate. But yeah, for you, was it just same routine, same everything sort of thing?
That's it, bro.
Okay. And when you did score, like, what was the feeling though walking back? Like, obviously, you probably felt pretty good.
Look, I don't think we had a good day that day. I think
okay.
I was more concerned about us winning than me scoring a try. So,
It was against the Cowboys, wasn't it?
Against the Melbourne. That was.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
Had a tough day that day, but yeah. So that was
It was hard, yeah. Oh, well, I was gonna ask, like, and I think you just answered that question, but would you much rather like the team wins and you have a bad game, or you have a good game and the team loses? Is that a pretty obvious question though?
Yeah, whatever it takes to win, really.
Yeah, fair enough. And then so obviously, mate, with the so you'll play for the Tigers next year, but then also the World Cup is around the corner, so that's next year. So will you be making yourself available for Lebanon as well?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
It's obviously, a goal of mine to play for the Cedars. Played back in 2017, and it was one of the best experiences. So yeah, really looking forward to that. It's obviously still a while away. Just focusing on the Tigers season first, 2026, and then if we're fit and healthy, ready to go, and at the end of 2026 for the World Cup, then I'll definitely put my best foot forward.
Because what is it like, mate, for you? I've heard players say, obviously, putting on that jersey and the anthem starts and things like that. Like, is it quite an emotional time for you? Like, how do you feel standing there?
I wouldn't say emotional. It's obviously exciting playing for your, from in my case, my mum's country. So yeah, look forward to it.
And does their side of the family, are they really proud? Like to see you, do they take a lot of joy out of it, like seeing you play for them as well?
Course, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then because you guys, it's going to be big. Lebanon versus Tonga is going to be huge, I think, like a massive game. And then I know you play France as well there. So what about like playing for Lebanon, like toughest game you've played in? Because you played a few for Lebanon now, like. Could you think back to any of the tough games, mate?
We versed Tonga back in 2017 in the qualifying final, so that was tough. We versed in a really good pack and a good whole team. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I guess like the Tongan team at the moment, it's stacked. Yeah, so I guess you got Samoa, Tonga, so it is exciting. Like. Mate, exciting times for the World Cup, like with rugby league internationally. Does that I guess excite you a little bit more for the World Cup too? Because a lot of the teams, I mean, you guys like Lebanon did very well last World Cup as well. Was it? Last World Cup. And then obviously, if you have a few of the boys like Mitchell Moses and things make themselves available, that will be a big kick for Lebanon. But does that make you a bit more excited for the tournament too? Would you say?
Yeah, look, like I said before, any tournament playing for your country is exciting. So yeah, I think it'll be really good. Yeah,
and then mate, I did have a challenge for you, but you can deny it, like you don't have to do it. But I might go with before we do the challenge, just like your weekly offload. So does anything annoy you, mate? Because it's funny, because obviously your size and your stature, it could be quite scary, but you seem quite relaxed. What annoys Alex Twal, would you say?
I have a pet hate at the gym when someone doesn't bring their towel, especially in summer when they're sweating pretty heavy.
Okay.
I think hygiene for me is massive. So.
Okay. And how you can? It's all good. You can discriminate. Like you could say, how have you found one playground?
No, it's been pretty good.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm pretty sure. So.
Okay. So that gets you going. Okay. I thought you might say actually leaving the weights on, but it's more of the hygiene of it, because people do get very, very sweaty.
Yeah.
Okay. 100%. Okay. So that's not too bad. But would you say you're pretty calm, like person in general?
Pretty calm person.
Yeah. And like in terms of like if we look at that in rugby league, like terms like for you, is it not? It's not personal. Like when you go out on the field, like do you ever try to give yourself extra motivation, or it's more just like a machine, like a process? Would you say?
No, definitely it's personal. You always want to, make sure you put your best foot forward and get the upper hand for your team. So yeah.
Okay, so you would say interesting. So you would say you do like obviously because you need to beat the opposition pack.
Yeah.
So you would say you do sort of try to drive some emotion from that.
Of course, every week
Okay.
is a challenge, and so you want to make sure you put your best foot forward, and yeah.
And what about the toughest forward you've played against, mate? Would you say?
Oh, it's a tough one. There's been so many great forwards along the years. So yeah.
What about now? What about right now? Last year, you got anyone last year?
That's still world class forwards.
Yeah.
Tapani and Payne Haas, they're great forwards. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Payne. Like, what is it like playing against Payne House? Because obviously he's got the strength, but sort of this, the agility as well. Like,
Yeah,
is that
everyone's so athletic these days. So it's everyone. There's great players across the game.
Yeah. Because would you say? I've heard like Gordon Tallis say when he played, he actually would rather a big guy running at him because it's more like that physical interaction rather than say like Matty Bowen made him look stupid a few times.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is that? Would you prefer that too? Like a forward running?
Sometimes, yeah. In some cases, yeah. So sometimes them slippery guys are very, very hard to get a hold of. So yeah.
And I know, obviously, it's funny, like watching it on TV, you can be an armchair expert and sort of you think, oh, how could they not get him? But when you, like, even when I've had a closer seat live, the action is so fast as well. Have you found much of a difference since you first started playing, mate, as well? Would you say, because you've gone through the six again era as well, like, would you say it's quicker, like, at this state, like today's game?
Yeah, the game's quicker.
And what do you enjoy more? Like, do you enjoy it more now or?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed the game. Like,
Okay.
You got to go through it and understand there's always going to be changes, and yeah, just enjoy it as it go.
Yeah, and then for yourself, mate, I guess like starting off to now, like, do you feel any signs of you're young, but do you like, is there any difference in recovery or anything like that? Like for getting a bit older.
Yeah, but if you take care of your body, man, you sort of work through everything. But yeah, obviously as you get older, you sort of, recovery takes a little longer, and you go a bit harder in that space. But yeah, as long as you look after your body, you'll be all good.
Yeah, and mate, for yourself, like playing under Benji, like when you're younger, did you sort of watch Benji a little bit as a kid? Because it's pretty hard not to. I mean, every kid was trying to emulate, what he did on the field. Like what was it like? I guess watching him on TV and now having him as a coach as well.
Yeah, obviously growing up, everyone tried doing the Benji Marshall flick pass and step in the backyard, and
yeah.
if you're a rugby league fan, you're a Benji fan. So it's obviously, very humbling now to be coached by him, and he's an awesome coach, and I'm learning a lot under him, and looking forward to 2026 under him. I think we can do some special things.
Because would you say, like, because obviously, if when he was in the media, he's got a bit of a funny side, he's got a serious side. Is he a good mixture around the boys and things like that in terms of? Like, I could imagine he'd probably pick you up with morale because he can joke around, but then he's also, obviously, he knows the game too. Like, would you say he's a good mixture for a coach as well?
Yeah, I think he's an awesome mix, and, the boys really, really respect him. So I think, it's really good. He's got the balance going really well at the moment.
And then what about, mate, adding like some of the newer boys to the Tigers? Like, did that help? Like, I think Taruva's extremely underrated. And I met him at an airport once, and he seems like an awesome, just human being. Obviously, Jerome as well. Like, those new additions, like, did they give a new shot in the arm for the Tigers as well? Like, did you feel like it was a different dynamic going on?
Yeah, they both bring the energy every day to training, and they have really great habits in their day-to-day lives, and I think they're really rubbing off on the playing group. And I think, they're a year more experienced in the Tigers colours this year, so I think the impact this year will even be even greater.
And then with like playing with Jerome, I have heard like he's quite good at pushing the guys at the training pitch. Is that underrated, do you think, like what you do in training and before the games as well?
Yeah, the game is sort of the easier part. It's a training throughout the week. That's what you have to get right, and come game day is sort of just second nature. You know what you have to do, and you've done it throughout the week. You just got to deliver on the game day. So yeah.
And not like, this isn't a dig, by the way, but not playing like finals. Does that make the preseason harder or easier? Because are you more like really, I want to get back in there and I want to make the finals, or is it harder because obviously you have more time to ruminate over, like as you said, losses and not making it? Like, well, what do you think? What do you think?
It's always a motivation. Coming back early in November, you want to, really strive for that goal of the premiership at the end of the year. So, if anything, we'll come back more motivated this year, and yeah, looking forward to it.
And is there any of I don't know if you'll answer this, but is there any of the boys that try to not skip training but aren't the hardest trainers, would you say?
The game's so tough as it is.
Yeah.
So everyone understands that you got to train hard if you want to come game day and play well for your teammates.
Yeah, and then you're pretty close with Tim Manor and a few of the other boys that used to play as well, mate. Like, do you find with rugby league you have those, or you get those friendships, and has that been like? Could you imagine your life without rugby league?
Nah, of course I couldn't. And best thing about it is, you build relationships that last a lifetime. So yeah.
All right.